Money check time. You're doing the work, but you're not seeing the results. If you feel like you're checking to see, like, is this thing even on? Today's episode is for you. So let's do this. Welcome back to another episode of the Your Money, Your Life podcast. I'm so happy that you're here. Let's do a money check, okay? So if you're doing the work and you're not seeing the results, today is for you. I've got 4 things that we need to check to see if you are on the right track. And of course, I'm going to have resources for you along the way if you feel like you're stuck. So the first thing, if you're doing all the work and not seeing the results, the first thing I want to know is how long have you been doing the work? Because oftentimes we'll talk about this time and time again that, we've gotten to the place that we're at after years of the same habits. Okay. So if we've done things that one way for an extended period of time, maybe it's not even years, maybe it's just months. And then we do 1 month or 45 days or something of the right actions and the actions that we need to do, like we're actually doing the work. It's not necessarily enough like to dig you out of the hole that you dug yourself into. So you might just need to keep doing the work. Now, I know that's not always the most fun thing to do. That's why the 4th part of creating unstoppable finances is having coaching and having somebody to support you. We're going to get into that in a little bit, but you might just have to keep at it. And that's the thing that we work on with the accountability and helping you stay consistent, because consistency is key, which brings us to the second piece. Are you doing the right work? So often we'll hear, get clients and people come to me like, okay, well, we did a no spend challenge, or we did Dave Ramsey. We've done this. We paid off all of our debt, but then they're back in a bad situation again, or where they don't want to be. Let's not label it bad yet. Just back in a situation where they don't want to be. Okay. They don't have the unstoppable finances that they're looking for. They don't feel like they have the results that they're looking for with your finances. And oftentimes we find that we're not doing the right work. So I'm sure we've all heard the parable of the tortoise and the hare does like the sprints and they stop and wait, and sprint and stop and wait. And the tortoise is just, like that consistent, slow and steady wins the race. We've all heard that, right? You're doing the same thing in your finances. Every time you do like a 30-day no spend challenge, which is great, you make all that progress in the 30 days, but then that rest time comes for the hare and you either don't make any progress or you go backwards, which is most often what happens because you went so dramatic of a change, you couldn't keep it long term. We need healthy financial habits that we can maintain long term. It's not about never spending anything ever. Now, there are times that we can do short, like no spending challenges or shortcuts, like cutting your spending, but it's not something that we need to be doing all the time because you're self-sabotaging. You're not making progress because you're like all over the place. We're at the very top and we're at the very bottom. We're at the very top and the very bottom. And we're spending all of this energy and momentum going from one extreme to the other instead of making forward progress, which is where you want to go. So if you've been doing an extreme action like that, instead of just saying, I'm going to transfer at least $25 this week or this month even into my savings, or I'm going to invest $25, or I'm going to get through this budgeting course that I purchased. Budgeting simplifiers, looking at you. Are we doing the right work? Because if we're not, you're not seeing the results because we're so busy expending all this energy. It's not the things that are actually going to move the needle forward. Which brings us to the third point. Okay. So my third question for you, if you feel like you're doing all the work, but not seeing the results, this is always really interesting. I always laugh when I catch myself doing this, not just with my finances. In all areas of life, we all do this. Are you actually doing the work? Or are you just thinking about doing the work? All right. Who's with me? How many times have you done this? You spend all this time. I know they used to talk about this when I was in network marketing. and you would look at your calendar and you're like, I'm doing all this work, I'm doing all this thing, I'm talking to this many people, and they're like, okay, pull out your calendar, let's see, like, how many people did you actually talk to? And there'd be times you'd be like, one, but you spent all this time working, right? So what did you do the rest of the time? You were thinking about working. So are you actually doing the work? Or are you thinking about it? Are you moving forward with your finances, or are you just up stressing about how you're going to do things? Or are you like strategizing everything, but not actually doing the work that we need to? So if you're just thinking about doing the work and not actually doing the work, A, you're not alone. B, again, we're going to talk about how to help you actually move forward towards that, because I know that you can. And the fourth thing is, if in doing all the work, you're like, I've been doing it consistently, I didn't go extreme, I'm doing like reasonable actions. Yes, I'm actually doing the work, I'm not just thinking about it, but there's still this invisible force that's holding me back, and I don't like it, Aimee. What the heck is going on? That, my friend, means that the invisible force that hits all of us is blocking you. And that invisible force is your money mindset. We all have money mindset blocks. We all have money mindset obstacles. I will link, if you haven't listened to episode 5 of the podcast, we talked all about the battlefield. And what the battlefield is that's your money mindset. That's the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that we have around money. And because you're a human, you were raised by humans, we have a flawed perception of reality. And again, it doesn't have to be real. It's just the way that we perceive things. So if you're doing all the work, you're doing the right work, you're actually doing the work, you're not just thinking about it, and you're still not seeing results, it's a money mindset block. And the money mindset makeover blueprint, as you heard, is coming. It's what is sponsoring this episode of the Your Money, Your Life podcast. So it's all like ready to go. I'm really excited to launch this for you. It's going to be an amazing opportunity. And if you have a money mindset block holding you back, get on the wait list. Be the first to know when the doors are finally open to the money mindset makeover blueprint, because when you figure out the money mindset obstacle that's holding you back, when we remove it, you are unstoppable. You can achieve all your goals and dreams. And yes, it's a little bit frustrating when you're the one that's been holding yourself back. Like, raising my hand here, it pisses me off every time. I'm like, I'm doing all the things and I'm the one that's stopping me. But we all have it. It happens to all of us. And you can get past it, because again, I've done it. I know you can too. There's been so many others that we've gone, that we work through these money mindset obstacles. And again, it's never perfection. We're going to be continually working on it. But the money mindset makeover blueprint is the blueprint that I put together to help you uncover, remove, and move forward past your money mindset obstacles. So there we go. Our money check for today. We had 4 steps for you to help you figure out why you're doing all the work and not seeing the results. So the first one was, have you been doing the work long enough? The second one was, are you doing the right work, not going extreme? The third one was, are you thinking about doing the work, or are you actually doing the work? And the fourth one was that invisible force that is holding you back. If you're doing all the right work, if you're doing consistent work and you're not just thinking about it, that invisible force holding you back is a money mindset obstacle. Your action step for today, your challenge, get on the wait list for the money mindset makeover blueprint, and then send me a message on Instagram at Aimee Cerka. I want to hear that you're registered. And what did you think of today's money check? Was this helpful for you? Hope so. Let me know if it was and what question was most valuable. We'll see you next week for another episode of the Your Money, Your Life podcast. Bye for now.